In 2025, could you really starve to death? I don't believe you could starve in China in 2025, unless you're in an extremely resource-poor mountain area, like the Darien Basin or Qinghai Lake. Then maybe. Yeah, you might actually starve. Otherwise, there's no way you'll starve, you know? In 2025, you won't starve in China. You're just making excuses for your own waste, for your own uselessness. What are awesome people doing in school? Awesome people would have already gone out to make money and pick up girls. Why are they still in school? School has no use except for a diploma, which fools those who don't understand. To those who do, it's useless. This world is like this. Some people know a lot, some don't. Those who don't know are always fooled by some stupid show. They're always fooled by bragging, by names and halos, which are just like this. There's no use for graduate students. A top-notch economist just makes money. Ding Shuai is the same. Ding Shuai just picks up girls. Do you need to study every day? You don't understand. Awesome people are practical, right? What am I talking about making money? I just made money. What am I talking about picking up girls? I just picked up girls. There's no need to get results directly. You who are good at finance, you who really know finance, can just make 10 million right away. If you can't make 10 million right away, you are a loser. Just like the advertisement I posted, a bunch of people asked how to connect with Snake Brother. You are like Mount Fuji. So what else? What did you innovate? Your engineering glasses? Your plaid spring shirt? Your 200 yuan rag sneakers? Your crappy leggings? Then don't innovate. It's better to copy and paste. So don't be obsessed with innovation. I tell you, people are born to be innovative. What they need is the right repetition. Charlie Munger has always emphasized the power of repetition. Charlie Munger means that in life, you only need to do two things. First, find the right thing. Second, repeat it to death. Repeat until you can't anymore. If you figure this out, you'll benefit. Those who don't, who think it's troublesome or don't bother, are the losers. They're the sheep, you know? Their meat gets eaten by us wolves. We study these things. We know what's truly correct, genuinely effective, what can really be sold, and what can actually make money. Let them figure it out themselves or not. Let them be useless if they want to. Let them go study those techniques, work on those problems, read books, research all that useless stuff. Once they come to us, they won't have anything left. The ultimate effect we want to achieve is this. Among men, if you have wechat and someone else doesn't, the difficulty of picking up girls is not the same. Especially among Chinese people. Among Chinese, the difficulty of picking up girls is different. Because if you have wechat, women are less likely to be on guard against you. This is very important. If you have wechat, when women see you, they get this kind of feeling, this kind of vibe, and they're more likely to believe what you say. If you don't have wechat and you're someone with a high status look, like you look like you're about to kill someone, then it's going to be much harder for you to close the deal. Here, when we talk about picking up girls, we mean making the other person genuinely like you from the bottom of their heart. So, think about it the other way around. Imagine yourself in that position. If there are no other social factors, like the person doesn't have any social halo, isn't rich, or doesn't have some resource you desperately want, would you genuinely fall for a fat pig? Would you fall for a tank? There's no way you would, right? So, having low body fat. This is the most basic thing. It's like this for men. If your body fat is high, for most people, your lower abdominal line won't be defined. As long as your lower abs aren't clear, you can basically forget about being with beautiful women, with top-tier girls. And here, I'm talking about top-tier girls. If a woman's looks reach a certain level, she absolutely doesn't need to settle or compromise. In today's society, really attractive women have absolutely no reason to settle for less, because as long as she's good-looking, even if she does nothing, she has a minimum income. She doesn't have to do anything, and if she's not smart, her minimum income is that. Your money matters if you reach a certain level. When you spend, it feels like an ocean to others. If you reach that level, it's possible. Otherwise, there's no point in talking about it. The most important thing is, first, you have to focus on the jawline and the lower face. Let me explain again how to judge someone's attractiveness. If your jawline and lower face don't look good, no matter how good your other features are, at best you'll just be a cute guy or a pretty girl. If you're a woman, you'll just be a pretty girl. If you're a man, you'll just be a cute guy. At most, that's your limit. So when we look at people, we need to get used to first looking at the face shape and the lower face. The best looking people always have the right lower face proportions. The most attractive people have very superior lower face relationships. The line connecting the nose, upper lip, and chin is correct, and their jawline is sharp and clear, like it was carved with a knife. It's not blurry, it doesn't have fat on it, and it doesn't have a bunch of loose soft tissue. If your head just connects straight to your neck, you'll never be a handsome guy. If a woman's head connects straight to her neck, she'll never be a beauty. So you have to keep your body fat percentage around 10%. My recommendation is 10%, because I've noticed for guys who gain weight in their face, your jawline won't look good until you get down to 10% body fat. So you have to get your body fat down to the extreme. Second, you need to work on this area. Some firming projects make it fit very tightly, creating a sharp jawline. The third is facial conditioning, which we'll discuss later. The second is supplementation. Supplementation can improve your skin condition, your energy, the whiteness of your teeth, and the whiteness of your eyes from the inside. It can improve these problems. As for the most important nutrients, I've only listed one above. I've only listed one beta-carotene. I recommend getting 6 to 8 of them from Saucy beef liver. I take 6 to 8 of Saucy beef liver every day. After this period of time, I do feel that my skin is better. It has a slightly golden tint, which is much better than before. It used to be duller, and I relied on makeup. Another one is omega-3. Omega-3 is also very useful, but I think you need to take at least 1 gram a day for it to be meaningful. Taking 2 pills a day is useless. Taking 2 pills a day according to the label is useless because the content is not enough. If you want to take it, take enough, otherwise you can't take it at all. My suggestion is that you should take 2 to 3 grams a day, which is the total OB. The content of -3 must reach a minimum of 1 gram, and 2 to 3 grams is the best. It can have a more obvious effect and can achieve balance. Because we consume too much omega-6 in our daily diet, omega-3 must be close to omega-6 in a 1-to-1 ratio. It is the most effective, the most anti-inflammatory, and the most effective in improving your skin quality and cardiovascular health. I think anthocyanins are also relatively useful. If you have bad skin, you can eat blueberries. Blueberries and pomegranates are good options, both high in anthocyanins, which improve skin. What I just mentioned are all health theories from Western medicine, but you can also try traditional Chinese medicine. Some Chinese herbs are meaningful too. Lately, I've been reading the I Ching and Tao Te Ching, and I've become interested in Chinese medicine. I recently had someone put together a prescription for me, and I feel it works well. Okay, that's that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, vitamin D is also very important. If you pay attention to these few things, your skin will usually improve a lot in a few months to half a year, and your overall energy will get much better too. That's because most Chinese people don't get enough vitamin D and vitamin K too. These two things are both lacking. Now, let's move on to the next point. Don't squeeze blackheads or pimples. Squeezing blackheads and pimples. Squeezing pimples is problematic for those prone to scarring. If you have the skin type, absolutely avoid squeezing. Many with scarring tendencies continue to squeeze, leading to pitted skin. Fixing pitted skin later is costly. My advice, don't do it. Don't pick. Also, if you scar easily, I don't recommend that you get cosmetic procedures, because with a tendency to scar, if you get cosmetic procedures, scarring in those areas will be much higher for you. Scars take a long time to fade, so I really don't recommend it. For pimples, just use exfoliating acids. If your skin is really bad, don't keep thinking about skincare products. They're useless. You should really consider doing treatments to solve the problem. Cleansing products are better than just relying on skincare. For skincare to make real difference, you'd have to use a ton. So don't rush to pop pimples. Don't rush to deal with pimples, scars, or moles, especially if prone to scarring. Focus on anti-inflammation. Next, let's discuss improving skin evenness and complexion. What does this mean? Why do people wear makeup? Why do people look better with makeup and not as good without it? It's not just concealing flaws, it's about evening out skin tone. What people notice is how even and harmonious their skin tone is. It's not about patches of dark, light, or bluish areas. It might have a purple patch or look dull, right? You understand. Actually, the function of makeup and foundation is to make your skin tone look even, first, and second, brighter. Some of you are dull and dark, and you also have facial issues, right? It's not bright enough, and you have dullness. So you have both of these issues, but makeup can solve these dullness and unevenness. Evenness is important, and even skin tone looks good. Some supermodels are actually tanned, right? Some Western supermodels, but you don't look particularly ugly because their skin tone is actually dark and even. But that's just how it is. The world is like that. Your effort is what you sow, and you reap what you sow. You feel annoyed, you feel it's difficult, and for 3 years, others have done this every day, and you haven't done it every day. After 3 years, others are strict with you, demanding money, and they're just fucking beating you up. So don't complain. Complain about why you didn't execute. Why did others execute? Your failure to execute is like making money. If you don't execute, and others do, then they make money and get what you want, right? If you don't execute, don't flirt, don't pull roses, don't become handsome, don't become good, then others will. The person who will snag your dream lover is just like that. This world is a jungle. It's all about who makes fewer mistakes and who makes more correct choices. There's nothing else. The fifth point is that you have to be considerate of the whites of your eyes. This is something that almost no one has mentioned before, but I want to mention it because being considerate of the whites of your eyes is very important. Even if you're black, you're very dark, but your whites of your eyes are very white, then you give people the impression that your eyes are very bright. However, some people's whites of their eyes are very yellow and not bright enough, giving them a sickly look, right? Yellowish and red eyes give them a sickly look, so pay attention to this point. But how do you brighten the whites of your eyes? It's actually very related to vitamin A, beta-carotene, and tin-sightedness. As I said, they're all blueberries. You know, they're all blueberries for the elderly. Actually, the core of beauty is youth, that is, youthfulness and youthfulness. However, there's an additional point to improving men's beauty called masculinity, which is whether your mandibular inflection point is prominent enough, whether your jawline is clear enough, and whether your bone structure, nose, and brow arches are three-dimensional enough. This is also very important, right? Avoid hunching your shoulders and appearing red and yellow. Then let me talk about the eyes. Some of you may not have enough eye column length, understand? You need to open your outer and inner canthus. This is also very important. The outer and inner canthus are. If your eyes look too small, it's likely that the distance between your eyes and the outer part is too large. And if your eyes look too far apart, that is, your eyes look very far apart. If you have this problem, it means that your inner canthus is not opened enough. You understand, because people visually judge the distance between your eyes not by how many centimeters a ruler is on each side, but by a relative value. In the field of appearance, everything is relative. For example, a big head is relative to the width of your body and shoulders. Maybe your head is not small in absolute terms, but your shoulders are very narrow, so your head will be big. Then there is another point, which is about having a big face, right? What is a big face? It is actually your inner contour. That is, your inner contour. The area of your head and face is too close to zero. So, if your inner part is small and your outer part is large, then you will look like a big face. So how can we improve facial folding? Actually, it means dividing the area within your inner contour by the area of your entire face to make it as close to 1 as possible. This is the folding ratio. The closer these two ratios are to 1, the more photogenic and beautiful your face will be. You'll find that all celebrities and internet celebrities have this characteristic. Their facial philosophy is very high. They don't have a big face. They don't have a flat face. They have an outer contour surrounding an inner contour. The outer and inner contours are actually almost the same, not one big face. This is very important, so it's actually a ratio issue. If your eyes are too close together, you can check the inner corners of your eyes. If your eyes are very far away from the outside and your temples, then you can check the outer corners of your eyes. It depends on the situation. If you don't have these two problems, you don't need to move your eyes. Then how to maintain your eyes? It's all common sense. Avoid irritants and ensure repeated sleep. Are you supplementing with vitamin B and vitamin C? Are you abstaining from tobacco and alcohol? Are you eating a balanced diet? Carbohydrates, protein, dietary fiber, and fats? Are you getting enough of these fats? And are you avoiding bad trans fats? Fat, right? This is old news, so I won't discuss it. The point is his face shape and hair. Raising the nose bridge makes your eyes look closer because there's something extra between them. Visually, horizontally, they appear closer. If something in the middle raises it, it looks closer. Next, choose a hairstyle based on your face shape. This is hard to say as everyone is different, but the core logic is the same. Make your head cover your face. Look at all handsome guys and beautiful girls. Their core feature is that their head covers their face. Their head must be a large outline, with a small face covered inside. It must be like this. It doesn't mean a person has a high hairline and a protruding forehead, making their whole face look like it's covering their head. In this picture, if the round face is a little fatter, it means the face is covering the head, right? In fact, it means the face is covering the head. I won't say more. Everyone must explore this for themselves. I can't tell you everything in one sentence. Everyone has to explore it. After exploring, what's the most suitable development for you? But there are common points, and common points in life can be copied. For example, is there a small fold at the sick foot? This is very important because if there's a small fold at your eyebrow, if the angle is small, it can make your face look more like the head wraps the face. So straight hair solves this problem, making the sick foot come out straight. If you don't understand, let me give another example. Why is the Monkey King in Journey to the West called the Beautiful Monkey King? Why not the Ugly Monkey King? Have you thought about this? Because his hair, right? His hair organs are all over the face, forming a circle, right? So the effect he achieves is to wrap the face. Understand? The effect is that the head wraps the face, achieving a high degree of facial folding, making him handsome. So all hairstyles and makeup logic for looking good or handsome comes from this. So some hairstyles aren't the male devil, boy band, or celebrity hairstyle. It's just because they share a logic, the head covering the face and high facial folding. You must understand the underlying logic instead of mechanically copying. Mechanical copying isn't important, but genes are very important. You must know which genes are good and bad. Long faces have advantages. I tell you, long faces have advantages. This is because we're in a communication era, taking phone pictures daily, and when you use your phone's front camera, it widens the middle of your face. If you have normal proportions, you'll look ugly on camera. So, if you have a long face, it becomes normal if you widen it. But visually, from the eye's perspective, it's still what looks good in real life. In this era, if you don't look good on camera, you'll suffer a lot. Even if you look good, because your good looks aren't perceived through communication media, then it's a failure. Okay, next. I think the more superior boys' face shapes are sporadic diamond-shaped and pentagonal faces. Other face shapes aren't as awesome. For example, Wang Jiar has a diamond-shaped face, which looks good on camera. It's not necessarily true that some look good in real life, but not on camera. Some look good on camera, but not in real life. This is true. I've seen this, but it's rare. People who look good on camera usually look good in real life. This is generally the case. Then I'd like to add about ears. If you have a very big head, you can do elf ears like many women. Elf ears extend horizontally, right? When they extend horizontally, the head and face appear smaller. They're also playing a comparison game. All aesthetics and what makes you look good are actually a comparison game. If you understand the comparison game, you'll understand. For example, Why do many want to get a higher cranial vault? I'll talk about this later, okay? There will be a part later explaining why people want to get it higher. The cranial vault. The temporal angle modifies face shape and accentuates the jawline. If you have a long face, you can keep more of the temporal angle. Next, adjusting spacing, specifically inner eye distance. For example, if your eyes are close together, extend eye makeup outward, focusing eyeshadow on outer corners. If your eye position is very high and looks aged, create a larger egiosal or apply makeup to make that area look bigger. Egiosal makes you look more youthful and lowers the perceived position of your eyes. Lowering eye position is very important. For men, egiosal makes a difference in attracting women, especially among Chinese people. With egiosal, women are less likely to be on guard around you. This is really important. If you have egiosal, women trust what you say more. So, if you don't have a crippled eye, have a high eye position, and look like you're going to kill someone, it will be much more difficult to finish him off. Even if you have two of the same person, if you have this mark and he doesn't, they're completely different. The former means if you take him home and let him go anywhere with you, he won't be on guard and will think it's okay to just go to your house. So you'll find that if someone who likes to pick up girls doesn't have this crippled eye, he'll also add one because this thing increases heart and strength and lowers the eye position, making your facial features more visually focused. Another thing is that if your eyes are close together, I suggest you start by trimming the one in the middle a little more because your two eyes are already very close. Squeeze your eyebrows towards the center. If they are closer, it will feel too crowded. In fact, it is also a technique to improve your appearance. It is also a technique of yin and yang balance. It is also a technique that says if there is too much surface, you need to add water. It does not mean to increase it without thinking. Similarly, I emphasized the facial folds to you before because most people have insufficient facial folds. But when you increase it to a certain extent, you don't need to increase it anymore. If you increase it again, it will look strange. So, in fact, everything I emphasize again is a technique of yin and yang balance. It is a case of too much or too little. Do you understand? If it is not enough, you need to add it. If it is too much, you need to reduce it a little. So you can trim a little more in the middle of the eyebrows, right? Then when you apply eyeshadow and draw eyebrows, you should adjust the double C line here. You separated the shadows and the shadows under your eyes. Do you understand? You separated them. Another very important point for men is the thickness of the eyebrows. If your eyebrows look sparse, not wide enough, and too thin, then your attractiveness to women must be very insufficient. Because eyebrow thickness actually implies sufficient testosterone secretion, and your t-shirt, brow bone, and nose are high enough. In fact, it implies this. This is a cruel truth. If you lack these things, it means that you are not manly enough, you know. Then women will subconsciously filter you out, and your impression will turn from wet to dry, right? Even if you Photoshop well, but you meet in person and find that you are not like that, then he will not react to you. So, you have to draw your eyebrows well. I don't care why you're going on a date with a girl, but you'd better draw your eyebrows thicker, wider, and denser. If your eyebrows are already thick, you should draw them too. Because it's an all-out arms race now. It's an all-out arms race now. If you don't do it, there are plenty of people who will do it. So add every point you can. It's like the college entrance examination. If you add 1 point, you beat 10 million people. I tell you, Lao Zhong is like that. It's no exaggeration. Lao Zhong, right now, no one cares about appearance. You know, outside of the entertainment industry, internet celebrities, male models, and those who have ambitions, other than you, other men don't take this seriously. You understand? So at this time, you should. When you do this, it's a red ocean market. No one's investing in this, you get it? I've been playing with quantitative trading, and hardly anyone understands it. Only a few people get it. It's very easy to make money. So it's very easy to make money. That's why, for anything, you have to get into it before most people notice it, and you have to do it seriously, without worrying about immediate returns. Do you get what I mean? Let me tell you, a lot of people are just opportunists, always looking for shortcuts. Damn, they're always thinking they can jump in when something is already on the rise. So, do you really know something others don't? The people who make it are those who get in early, put in the work without expecting anything, and dig deep. They stick with it for 3, 5 years, and they break through. That's how people who make money. And it's the same for those who succeed in relationships. So you have to get involved before anyone else notices what's going on. Why are the awesome people who do this kind of thing in school? Awesome people would have been out making money and picking up girls by themselves a long time ago. Why are they still in school? I tell you, school has no effect in the eyes of those who know, except for the diploma, which is used as a show to fool those who don't. This world is like this. There are some people who know a lot, and some people who don't. And those who don't know are always fooled by some stupid show. Those who don't know are always fooled by some bragging. Those who don't know are always taken advantage of by some names and halos. This world is like this. A first-class economist is making money by himself. You are like Ding Shuai too. Ding Shuai is picking up girls directly. Do you need to study every fucking day? If you don't understand, then the awesome people are the ones who are practical, right? I talk about making money, and I make money directly. I talk about picking up girls, and I pick them up directly. There's no need to get results directly. You are good at finance. You are really good at finance. You can just make 10 million right away. If you can't make 10 million right away, then you are a noob, right? Let me show you a common eyebrow shape of celebrities. You will find that they are all thick, and then there is a characteristic, straight, right? Thick, so you must rely on these characteristics. In fact, I tell you, there is nothing new about human beings. All human beings have results. Everything is copy-pasted, like when I posted that ad for the display screen before, and a bunch of people asked me why. Brother Snake, it looks like it was copied and pasted. So what else can you do? What else can you do? What can you do? Can you innovate those engineering glasses? Can you innovate those plaid shirts? Can you innovate those 200 yuan a pair ragtag sneakers? Can you innovate those lousy leggings? So don't innovate. It's better to copy and paste. So don't be obsessed with innovation. I'm telling you, people are born to innovate, repeating the right things over and over again until you're exhausted. I'm telling you, innovation is spontaneous. Innovation is achieved by just moving. You don't need to think about it yourself. You just repeat it over and over again, and you will naturally innovate. Innovation is like this. I tell you, the enlightened monks will recite the existing scriptures over and over again. Because you are constantly reciting the scriptures, you will form your own scriptures. Reciting the correct scriptures and then forming the correct scriptures is the way of heaven. Your DNA and your genes are also from this. Your genes and your DNA are also pasted from father to son. It is the gene mutation that is pasted to you by your parents. It mutates automatically. You don't need to think about mutation. So there is always shame about originality and shame about plagiarism. If you feel ashamed about copying, change that mindset immediately. It's the main reason for your failures. That's why, even though you could have moved up, you're still failing. You're always thinking about originality. The right answer is there, but you don't know how to copy or execute. Every day, you're stuck in your own world, daydreaming. The things you think are innovative have already been done. Many have failed on the exact same innovations as you. You're just dying in a different era, in a different place, for the same reasons. There's no difference between you and them. No difference between you and historical failures. So if you have this mindset, change it immediately. This world is just a cycle. If you put morality, once you understand this, you'll realize something. There's nothing new. Everything is just repetition, repeating over and over. No innovation. Do you know how devastated I was when I realized this? I discovered, philosophically, this world is just boring, utterly meaningless. Everything has happened before. Nothing is new. What I'm experiencing now is just one version of what people before me experienced. The only difference is the shell. People in the past had the shell of primitive society, then feudal society, then the Industrial Revolution, and now the Information and Communication Revolution. It's all just different shells. So the most important thing is to change your mindset. I'm telling you, change your mindset. You'll automatically become awesome, automatically get rich. You get it? You'll automatically have money. You don't need to. When considering these things, it's crucial to guide your thoughts. What should you use? The Tao Te Ching, the theory of war, or Sun Tzu's art of war? You must use the thoughts of great people. Don't use your own brain. It will always lead to wrong conclusions. As long as you use your own brain, you will reach wrong conclusions. That's my point. Your own intelligent brain, if you use it, will be wrong. This is why a philosopher said that as soon as humans think, God ferments. Do you know why? Because as soon as you think, it's absolutely wrong. You don't need to think. Humans don't need to think. Humans only need to find the right things and repeat them. Point 9 is very important. It's the top priority. Why do many people not understand their appearance? Why don't you know your appearance score? Why do you always think of yourself as handsome? The core is that most people don't understand the earth chain. You don't consider your appearance from the perspective of dough and your lower river line. This is the core. He thinks he is handsome, but his photos are ordinary. Why? Because he thinks his facial features are good. Many guys come to me for advice. They think their facial features are good looking, they are handsome, but they lack ambition and can't make money. Why? Because their face is not well mixed. If your lower river valley is excellent, even if your facial features aren't good, you're still above average handsome, believe it or not. But if there's a problem with your lower river valley, river surface, or lower river line, then at most you look like a god elsewhere and are only slightly handsome. If you're a girl, at most you're slightly beautiful. It's impossible to be average or extremely handsome/beautiful. So you must look at the problem from the perspective of occlusion. Occlusion is very important. One is the closure problem. Occlusion is closure every day. For a long-term solution, one is braces and the other is hermetic beauty, right? But these cycles are very long, and occlusion surgery is a major operation, so consider it carefully. For a faster solution, if your teeth are just a little protruding, or have a bite problem, or are uneven, the fastest way is dental veneers. Dental veneers are the fastest. You've seen many internet celebrities use them. Celebrities often get dental veneers. Veneers quickly improve tooth shape without a long process, retainers, or constant adjustments. If your occlusion looks bad in the mirror, you won't be considered handsome. Either accept this or fix your occlusion. Look at the picture below. It's straightforward. It transforms like this. It's all about occlusion. Occlusion is extremely important. This one is the same, too. Before and after orthodontics, once occlusion is corrected, that's it. Once your occlusion is fixed, even if your facial features aren't handsome, you'll still look good. Next, something less important. Your teeth aren't crucial. If there are other areas you're not confident about, just keep your mouth closed or slightly open when you talk, and it won't be a big problem. Another benefit of veneers is that when you smile, your teeth can show. When you smile, your teeth are visible. Young people prefer wide teeth that are slightly off-white, with a milky hue. Veneers can also solve this. But if you use Invisalign or metal braces, there's something uncomfortable. You can't drink coffee, tea, or that, which is annoying. It's annoying. See, a nice smile is a big plus attracting girls. He just got his teeth straightened. Orthodontic treatment or dental veneers, and then window treatment. Actually, dermatology is very developed now. You can go to a few hospitals and it will be fine. In fact, your biggest problem is that many people are ugly because you don't take it seriously. Let me tell you, there is actually a very absurd thing in this world. If you don't take something seriously, you won't have it. For example, if you don't pay attention to aesthetics, good looks, and appearance, you will end up finding a brother-in-law. If you don't pay attention to economics, making money, and marketing, you won't make any money. If you don't pay attention to communication, you won't pay attention to advertising, but you will make money. So, what you value is what you get. Where your thoughts are, the results in reality will be there. You must pay attention. In fact, the core of what I tell you is to make you pay attention. If you don't pay attention, it's useless. It's useless even if you listen. You know what's useful, but you don't implement it. And if you don't pay attention, there are a group of people who often say something like, I know this now, I understand. I want you to say I understand, I know, I understand. But you don't pay attention, you don't implement it. Quite a group of people are in this situation and don't pay attention. If you don't execute, you don't know. Don't assume you know. If you don't know, you have to treat it as your first-class master. Do it every day, then you will become handsome, reach the top, and make money. Study it every day, and you have to become another me. You have to have my research spirit. Watch, study, and listen every day. You are always learning, constantly working on things, and doing things. Then you will reach the top, and you will be rich. Then what does the 12th point mean? You have to adjust your head position. Many people have the feeling that some people are attracted to others. Yes, some girls. When you look at them from the back or the side, you think they are beautiful. Their outline is particularly beautiful, but when you look at them from the front, you think they are ugly. This is because their entire skull structure is fine. Their skull structure and body proportions are fine, but their facial features and their inner contours are not good. This is why they are attracted to others. I will tell you how to adjust your head position. Okay, when you look at your eyes from the front, the distance from your eyes to your chin must be half of your entire upper and lower body. See, the same principle actually applies to hairstyling. If your hair is very flat and droops downwards, then your skull will account for more than half, and it may become 3/5, right? If it becomes 4/7, then it will not look good. Therefore, your skull must look very good. That is, the back of your head, understand? The fullness of your back and the top of your head must be excellent. This is also a very important point for beautiful girls. It's not the hairline. I'm talking about the top of your head, not the hairline, the black hair area on the top of your head. That is, your skull must be fully developed. Look at all the stars, all the top girls, and all the handsome guys. They all meet this rule. So why does Gao Luding tie his hair for an hour before going out? It's because he wants this proportion to be good, you know? Awesome people are those who pay attention to details. They're people who value social etiquette. Actually, let me tell you, this world is often a set of social restrictions. If you make them understand these things, the ones who benefit the most are those who don't. Those who enjoy trouble and don't deal with them are losers. Sheep, you know? Their meat is eaten by us wolves. We study these things. We know what's truly correct. We know what's truly effective. This is what can be sold. This is what can really make money. Let them figure it out on their own. Let them be useless. Let them study those techniques, those problem solving, those reading, those useless things. Once we understand these things, we'll kill them, steal all their money, and steal their women. Why study here at this time? The purpose is to make yourself to become a highly cognitive, handsome guy. They all come to us, and they no longer have the final effect. This is what we want to achieve. What's another point? If you can't add anything above, right? If you can't add anything above, then what do you need to do? You need to add something below, right? For example, if you draw your eyes a little lower if they are too long, it will also lower the eye position. Then, from the center of the entire eye, it may be able to return to the half of the editing scene. This is how it is. If you say that the performance dimension is too high, you can add a fuck here or add a lower eyeshadow to make the visual center of gravity of your eyes a little lower, and then it can be closer to the two-part mirror. In fact, it is an aesthetic game. I tell you that becoming handsome is actually an aesthetic game. In fact, if you understand it, you will find it very simple. You will feel that this game is actually, how should I put it? It's a game where you can win by piling up data. It's different from solving problems. There are some uncertainties in it. You have to deal with problems, but you don't have to deal with any uncertainties. Mixing the face is the most important thing. I emphasize again, I'm afraid you didn't hear it clearly. Mixing the face is the most important thing. If your jawbone and face look good, you must be good looking. At the very least, you are averagely handsome, you know. Even if your facial features have some flaws, it doesn't matter. There are many people who have been harmed by solving problems in the first half of their lives. We don't need to complain. Just carry your business well and hit the road. We just need to do our best. Other things are not important. Changing yourself is changing the world. I just want you to know the importance of some things. Many people don't understand this importance. I tell you that attitude determines everything. If you are this person, if you have a very good attitude, success is only a matter of time. This is because you spend all your time solving problems, focusing on removing obstacles and reaching key points. You have no other ideas, understand? Only this is important. Rockefeller said greed is necessary. Why? Because greed is an attitude. Ambition and desire are attitudes. Indifference is also an attitude. If you are indifferent, you get indifferent results. If you value something greatly, thinking about it daily, you will get good results. Whether it's picking up girls, making money, gaining power, or fulfilling ideals, everything is attitude. When alive, do your best to get all resources and everything that belongs to you. Without this idea, everything is empty talk. You must understand that when you want something, be bold. Humans are extremely bold. When bold, they fear no ghosts, monsters, vampires, or demons. Don't be afraid. Use your sexual desire and courage as your primary driving force to do things and build a career, and you will succeed immediately. My initial idea was to treat picking up girls as a career. Take responsibility, and you will succeed. If you are lustful enough, you will succeed. If you keep trying to pick up more decent, higher scoring, better quality women with greater sexual and emotional value, you will succeed, because this path leads to success. Men are driven by sex. If you spend every day doing useless things, reading crappy books, studying useless technologies, pursuing empty ideals and illusory grand trends, you will fail. You must use lust and sexual desire to drive your life. Otherwise, you'll always be a loser, always just short of something, always feeling not good enough. You're rich thanks to your parents, but still feel inadequate because you lack dating motivation. This is the core. Men not driven by lust are losers. If you're not driven by lust and don't yearn for better things, you're a loser. Even problem solvers who make money are driven by lust. People good at solving problems and making money with quantitative trading programs are driven by lust. If you're not driven by lust, there's nothing to discuss. You answer me, you. If this can't make you money and help you get hot women, then why do it? Chasing imaginary security has trapped many. If you seek security, stop watching me. Unfollow, block me, and I'll block you. If security is all you care about, that's nonsense. Working a regular job is chasing security. Do you think you'll starve in 2025? I don't believe anyone in China will starve in 2025, unless in an extremely resource-poor mountain area like Darien Basin or Qinghai Lake. In that case, you might starve. Otherwise, you won't. In 2025, in China, you won't starve. You're just making excuses for laziness, justifying uselessness.